Before you start, I left something for you in the show notes. If you've been creating content but not seeing it connect, or maybe not in the way that you hoped, the 3-minute founder voice quiz will show you why. And once you know your natural voice, everything you create becomes clearer and converts better. It's below. Take it before you forget. Now, let's begin. Ever wondered if you can build real wealth without losing your peace, your marriage, or your soul in the process? Welcome back to the Entrepreneur's Kitchen. I'm Priscilla, and today we're pulling a chair up to the table with Dr. Nicholas E. Michels, elite wealth strategist, former pro basketball player, and founder of the Rich by Choice movement and Michels Family Financial. He's helped thousands of families align their money with purpose, peace, and legacy. And what I love is that he doesn't just talk about getting rich. He talks about being rich in life. Rich in faith, rich in marriage, rich in relationships, and yes, rich in money. In this conversation, you're going to hear how a painful childhood story and his parents' divorce shaped his life's work. The simple compounding lesson a blue-collar mentor taught him that any founder, any person can apply. The vision exercise that he and his wife used to turn money conflict into unity, and how to build a golden parachute outside your business, outside of your career, so you're not trapped by it. This is a masterclass in money, marriage, and mindset, but it's happening right here at the kitchen table with our Bibles open and our business in view. So grab your tea or coffee, settle in, and let's step into what it really means to be rich by choice with Dr. Nicholas E. Michels. Welcome to the Entrepreneur's Kitchen. Today I've got a very exciting guest for you, Dr. Nicholas E. Michels, elite wealth strategist, the founder of the movement Rich by Choice. We're excited to have you here. You combine training in business psychology and finance to help families align their money with purpose, peace, and legacy. This sounds so good. I can't wait to get in it with you. The fact that it's money followed by purpose, peace, and legacy. I think it's perfect. Thank you so much. Dr. Nicholas, please tell me, when someone says Dr. Nicholas Michels and Rich by Choice, what comes to mind and what should people know about you and about this movement?
What they need to know about me and this movement would really be my why. I mean, that's really where it all started. I get that question a lot. Nick, you're really passionate about helping people. Like, why is that? Where does that come from? And Priscilla, it really starts in my childhood. Well, I was 10 years old. I'll take you back to the summer of 1996. I was one of 4 wild boys, all a couple years apart. My dad was an entrepreneur. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. We actually had a pretty good life. I mean, I didn't even realize what money was. I just knew that, hey, things were pretty good. Now, we weren't rich by any means, but we had a comfortable lifestyle. But then it changed. I mean, literally overnight. I mean, my dad got divorced, and my mom went from a stay-at-home mom of 4 boys to a single mom of 4 boys, working 3 jobs just to survive. And so as you can imagine, Priscilla, I mean, I saw both sides of those railroad tracks. I mean, from a pretty good life that's pretty comfortable to, oh my goodness, we're barely scraping by. It was at a very young age where I realized, hey, this money thing, it's really important. It influences every aspect of our life. And we have a choice, either for good or for bad. And so that lit a fire under me that, hey, when I was younger, I mean, it was awful going through what we went through. And I wanted to learn everything. That way I could understand everything. That way I could build, I could grow, I could protect. And that's what I'm deeply passionate about, because we lived through it. And I don't want that to ever happen to you or anybody. So yes, we talk about being rich with money. And yes, you will be rich with money. But there's more to that. There's more to life than that, because there's being rich in life, rich in marriage, rich in faith, rich in doing more exciting things with the people that you love, but then also learning how to protect those riches so that no matter what happens in this world, you're going to be confident and excited about your future.
That's a lot to go through as a young person, and to see both sides of your parents, because sometimes you only see one side of your parent. I'm glad that you're on this mission to help a lot of people who are in various circumstances, but who can really connect with that story of, like, either money was always a topic, not spoken topic, but it was dictating everything that was happening around them in that sense. And in a lot of situations, it's not talking about money, but it's like money's controlling everything and how people live
Mm-hmm.
and how people talk to each other and what they can do and what
Cool.
they cannot do and what they think is okay in terms of giving and things like that. I'm so grateful to have you here on the podcast. Dr. Nicholas, you talk about when you were a young man and you got your first job
Mm-hmm.
and how that completely changed everything. I think that's a powerful moment. If you can talk to us about what you can remember of that time and what shifted for you.
Yeah, that's a really good question because that was a very pivotal point in my life. We all have those moments in our life where everything completely changes. And some of us have more than one, and that was one of them. I worked at a golf course. I took out the trash, I washed golf carts, I refilled the water, and I picked the golf balls up off the driving range. It's 105 degrees in Texas, and I was out there working. I think I was making $5 an hour, 16 years old. But I call it a God wink, where God just winks at you. And some people say luck, but I say a God wink. And the owner of the golf course, his name was Rex. And he's not a typical golf course owner. This guy was a blue collar guy who actually bought a piece of land, was out there in a tractor, clearing out brush, helping build the course. And so that's the kind of man Rex was. And he brought me under his wing and he taught me about money. We used to play this game called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? He actually showed me, didn't just teach me about compound interest, but showed me the numbers that, hey, Nick, if you put a little bit back of your paycheck, this is how much will be there in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. Priscilla, to be honest with you, I don't remember the exact number. I remember being shocked. Oh my goodness. You're telling me this poor kid, single mom of 4 boys, I can realign my stars, that I could have the old life back that I wanted, that comfort, and it empowered me. It started a compounding effect in my life where I wanted to learn more. And so now when I go tell kids, you should see, my wife and I, we have a nonprofit where we talk to kids about money. That's the first thing I say. Hey, do you want to see what Rex showed me? And you should see their eyes. Yeah. And I'll show them that if someone makes $50,000 a year, $75,000, $100,000, I'll show different numbers. If they just at their age, when they're younger, and I believe the starting age is 20, and they just put back 10%. 10%. You would not believe the millions upon millions of dollars there. And these kids, their eyes just get this big. And so it just shows them that, hey, anybody can do it. It's just, will you do it? And so that changed my life.
Oh, that's amazing. I think that meeting someone who showed you and someone
Mm-hmm.
that you could see, and that's what you're doing too for so many people. So that's amazing. When I hear your story, Dr. Nicholas, I think to myself, for that person who you hear, oh, maybe you should put away money, you hear it, but you can't grasp onto it. And I'm thinking, if you've
Mm-hmm.
come across those people, maybe there's some mindsets that people have. They hear money and
Mm-hmm.
they think, oh, I don't want to even think about money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you could speak to that person.
The first thing I would say to them is just, hey, first take a deep breath. I'm right here with you. What I mean by that is I get it. And the book goes through this because it helps people understand their money psychology. And what I mean by that, if you think about that, Priscilla, all of us, myself included, we all grew up in a certain era, raised by specific parents who grew up in a certain era, in a certain time with sociological attributes. What I'm saying is that all affects us, and that all plays into how we perceive money, how we perceive the world. Not better or worse. It's just, hey, if we all grow up in a certain environment, you don't think that's going to affect how we see the world and how we see money. And so it's very important to say, hey, let's take a step back. Let's talk about how you do perceive money. Do you think you deserve to be wealthy? Do you think you deserve to be happy? Do you think that you can be? And so to understand that, and also too, going back to Rex, which kind of leads into this question, Priscilla, it was great that he told me that, which was great advice, but he also lived it. And you know how powerful that is, that I got to see it and hear it. And so I think that's why it helped me buy into it so much. And so I've seen it. I've seen it with all walks of life. People that are classified as really, really poor, just a little bit poor, to middle class, upper middle class, or really wealthy. I've seen the stair steps to wealth that anybody can do it. It's just making up your mind. And the first thing I would tell you is find out who's important to you. What's the exact life that you want? Start imagining it. Don't just say, hey, I want to be wealthy, but define what wealth is. Define the life that you want, and then you're building something. Because Priscilla, when I first started saving money when I was young, I was really excited, but there's times where I wanted to go spend it. Saving money and investing money wasn't fun. I wanted to spend it. But when I got really clear about, hey, what's important to me? What am I building? And then that's when you get really excited and who you're doing it for. So those are the things I would tell people is that, yes, you can do it. You're worth it. Your loved ones are worth it. Just start taking small little baby steps, and each little step will build, and you'll reach great heights down the road.
I love that. Our audience is early entrepreneurs. And,
Mm-hmm.
you talk about just taking 10%. and
Mm-hmm.
beginning to invest it? Because you're both entrepreneur and wealth
Mm-hmm.
strategist. So you know that line and you know those people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we never get to the part of investing. We're just in the business, running the business,
Yeah.
meeting the needs of the
Mm-hmm.
business. And I wonder what you would say to that person.
Yeah, and I get it. And again, I emphathize, I sympathize because I'm here. I'm right there with you. There's no judgment. Is that, hey, our greatest investment is ourselves. Our next greatest investment is our family. And then after that, down the road, is our business. It's a wonderful investment. And if you're an entrepreneur, I commend you because being an entrepreneur, it's a difficult thing, but it's a wonderful thing. And the more you help people, the more you're going to be rewarded. This is what I tell a lot of my business owners, and we deal with a lot with business owners, and we help them, with taxes and making smart decisions with money and asset protection and all these things we help them with. I always remind them that, hey, what happens if you get to a certain point down the road where everything goes wrong? What's your golden parachute? What happens if you get down the road and you wake up one day and you say, man, I just don't want to do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. What happens if there's a change in legislation to where your industry is completely changed? And so all these different things that could happen, you want to be putting money back to where, hey, it's kind of like your golden parachute. Now, my goal is for all my business owners, they build a business, they 100x it, and they sell out and they make a ton of money. Or their kids take over it and they grow it. That's wonderful. But what happens if it doesn't? What's your safety net? And so by doing that, investing in retirement accounts and putting money back, because most people don't know your primary residence and certain retirement accounts, they're the greatest hedge of protection from liabilities that there is. Most people don't realize that. And so there's certain things like that, A, protect you, B, can be tax write-offs, but C, also, there's a golden parachute down the road that if everything what you dream about doesn't happen, because then I'd ask you, Priscilla, all these things, what happens if things go wrong? What's your plan B? And so that's what I try to tell people of, hey, I hope it all turns out and you sell out for millions upon millions or whatever it is that your goals are. Let's build this up over here as a backup option or safety net in case something happens. And for someone to tell you, you probably know this, life throws you curveballs sometimes and you just want to be prepared for it.
Yeah, I think that's such an important conversation that sometimes is missing
Hmm?
in a lot of social spaces. The worst thing is to work so hard as an entrepreneur.
Hmm?
The statistics are the statistics. It is what it is. But
Hmm?
to prepare yourself for what comes after, I like that you say having that golden parachute. You talk about going from pro athlete to wealth strategist. And
Hmm?
then you write that money became a source of conflict in your marriage. And I
Yeah.
wondered
Yes.
how. I thought of a lot of founders who may relate to that. I'll let you tell us.
Yeah, no, and you bring up another good point because my life came full circle. It really did. Because remember, when I was younger, when I was 10 years old, my parents got divorced. Remember, I really didn't even know what money was. I just knew that, hey, we had a pretty good life. Then, boom, I saw the pain and the frustration and the worry, anxiety that having money troubles puts on a family. And so I saw both sides, and I thought it was just money. I was like, oh, okay, if I have money, I'll get that back, and all worries will go away. And Priscilla, I was wrong because when I got older, my wealth started to grow, but guess what? My happiness wasn't growing with it. So money is important, but it's everything. Because as all you have is money, and that's it, you're going to be a very sad person. And what I mean by that is when I was young and married is my wife and I, we were arguing about money, not fighting. It wasn't terrible, but we just couldn't get on the same page. And it seemed like we were having the same talks and disagreements over and over again. And it was all my fault. I was young and I was dumb, and I'll tell you why it was my fault. I was a financial advisor. And so I thought that I was bringing value to our family by me being the financial advisor for our household, me managing the money and things like that. And so we were growing, but my wife really didn't know what was going on. It was my own fault until we finally had our last argument. And I had to find something like it's not getting better and life's supposed to be better than this. And I went searching for answers. And I called some mentors and they gave me some books to read. And what I learned is I was trying, but when I got married based on my faith and my wife's faith, we leave, cleave, become one flesh. We were supposed to become one team. And I was trying to do that, but I didn't know really how to do that. In the other books we talked about, they gave us what's called a vision statement. And we did that together. And a vision statement is where you take 10 pieces of paper and you go to separate rooms of the house. And you go in there for about an hour and you write out everything that you want. Priscilla, not just, hey, I want $10 million or hey, I want to retire. No, what does that life look like? What are the relationships like with my kids look like? It's Tuesday afternoon and I'm 60 years old. What am I doing? Where are we living? We have 4 kids. If one happens to live out of state, what's that relationship? Do we have a second house there where we get to be a real part of their lives, or are we just flying in several times a year to see them? And these are hard questions out, but when you start building all this, what's our faith look like? How involved are we in our community, our church? And then you come together and you learn a lot about each other. But then that's when you get, like I was talking about earlier, you get excited because now you're building something together. And then we started having Michael's family financial meetings, which are fun. But like once a week we get over and we go over the money, big picture, short term, medium, long term. It was a changer because I learned a lot about my wife. There's some things she had on her vision statement that I didn't even know she wanted, and vice versa. A lot we had the same, but guess what? We built one vision statement together then, and then everything started gearing towards that. And I can't tell you how lucky, blessed, godly that we were, because ever since then, does that mean we have a perfect marriage? No. Do I still mess up? Yes. Have to say sorry? Yes. We're on the same page. And so that was one of the things that really changed and transformed our marriage, because then we got to say, okay, remember, we need money for these things, but it's these things that are going to bring us the most joy. And that's when you get things online. That's what this book does, because it helps you understand who's important to you, what's important to you, what's the exact life that you want to live. And then you start aligning your finances and your financial decisions with that. That's when real joy, peace, excitement come out.
Sounds like a powerful exercise. I can see how sometimes the conflict is just that communication. Even something as exciting as a family decides to buy a house can be a source of conflict. It's exciting, you're not going to afford to buy a house, but you've never had that discussion of what does a home look like? What does a good home look like? And what does the life you want look like? Wow.
Priscilla, I've realized this too, is most people, they're trying to do the right thing. They want to do the right thing. They just don't know how. Like most people say, okay, hey, if you want advancement in work, become smarter, work harder. And that's great. That's a solution. But tell me how. And so that's what we're receiving so many success stories about the book is, because it not only just gives you a solution, but then it gives you a step-by-step simple process of, hey, do these things, make these little tweaks. And what I love about it is they're not huge. They're just small little baby steps that you can start implementing, and the results are powerful.
Even when you were mentioning how you thought, okay, we didn't have money. For me to solve what happened, I've got to make money, which I think a lot of people find themselves in that category of, if I make enough money, then everything is going to fall into place. And I like that you said that does not happen automatically. You've got to go through that process of defining what is important to you. Dr. Nicholas, talk to us about the premise of the book and what led you to write the book.
Bottom line was I started to see things, not only with my own personal life, but with the thousands of families that I've spoken with, not only with research that I did on my own, looking at very successful individuals around the world. And you start to see common themes. Themes start to align. It's like the secrets of success. Once I started to see that, and to see it play out in my own life, being wealthy, yes, in money, but also being wealthy in other areas, it came to a point where it'd be selfish of me to keep it. Because like I said, remember that God wink, lucky? I've had so many people help me along the way, like so many, and been blessed along the way to where it would be selfish of me not to give this away, because what I love about it, it's simple. And that was kind of my goal as I went through advanced education and elite level certifications in my field of wealth. I wanted to simplify them to give them away. And then, like I said, I started to see these common themes. And that's where, and how it aligns with life as well, because it's not just money, but it's the life, the things that are important, the people that you love, the positive ripple effect you want to have on your loved ones and the world. And so it's very powerful. And a lot of people in the book, you'll see this, there's several strategies in the book. A lot of people do one or two, but it's when you combine them all together, that's when the magic happens. And what I love about it, it's simple. So simple.
Looking forward to that. We love simple, and we love building towards having a wealthy life. You say that mindset is more important than the math. Can you explain that?
Yeah, when you talk about mindset, just think about our brain, and we go into this in the book. We elaborate how powerful the human brain is. We haven't even started scratching the surface on how powerful our mind is. If you compared it to technology today, there's not a piece of technology out there that's more powerful than our brain. It's amazing. What I mean by that is called cognitive behavior therapy. It's one thing, CBT. And what that means is what starts in the mind processes through the body and allows you to feel and get excited. And then it gives you the zest to take action. And so essentially from there, what you started out in your mind is a mirror out into the world, and it becomes true down the road. So it's cognitive behavior therapy. Starts in the mind, goes to the body, creates action, and then the results. And what I mean by that is if you get your mindset right on all the different elements when it comes to wealth, when we go through them, it has to start there. Because you can do all the actions like budgeting and things like that, but if you wake up every day and tell yourself, I don't deserve to be wealthy, I'll never be wealthy, being wealthy is only for these people or that, or whatever it might be, it's not going to happen. And that breaks my heart. And so we give you simple strategies to get your mind right. It says, hey, it can happen, it will happen, and it lets you know all the different mindsets you need to have. And then that spills over into budgeting, because then you're like, hey, I can do this. And we give you little budgeting tips that talk about freeing up cash, free up cash to create breathing room. And we've had single moms and single parents send us emails and reviews saying, hey, because of your budgeting strategies, we can breathe at night, finally get a good night's sleep. Other people are taking that money they're saving in their budget and investing it. They're going to have significant wealth down the road. It does start with the mindset. We give a lot of success stories too about people of all different shapes, sizes, places around the world that it's working to where you go, oh, this can happen. And so your mindset on how you view things, what you believe, it has a ripple effect on every area of your life.
Situations where people feel like you're poor at saying that it's passing over opportunity repeatedly. It all starts with your thinking. If you change the thinking, everything changes. You think you need to change the situation, and yet it's the thinking. It's like counterintuitive that you're waiting for your situation to change, but what you need to actually change is
the way you're thinking. I mean, I'm a huge fan of success, and I read a lot of autobiographies, and you start to see these common themes, and one of them is the way they all think, how they're grateful for things, and how they have a positive outlook, how they take serious visualization exercises and meditation exercises. So when you see all the very successful people around the world doing this, you have to stop and ask yourself, maybe there's something to it. And it talks about that in the Bible too. And so then that's what a lot of my book talks about as well, is it's not just me saying it. It's not just really successful people. I linked everything back to it, and this is my faith, the Bible as well. And I always tell people, if someone doesn't believe what I believe in my faith, that's okay. I still love you. I still want to help you. It's still really good advice. The Bible is the greatest money success book ever written. So it's fascinating.
No, it is. I went on your website, richbychoicebook.com, and it was a rabbit hole. I have to tell you, Dr. Nicholas, I went on there. I just wanted to see what was there. And hours later, I was still there. And it was, I said, you set me up.
But no, it's wonderful because it has a little something for everyone. And there's even a free money education course on there. So there's a lot. There's 2,000 different Bible verses that have to do without money. So it can take you wherever you want to go. There's fun quiz and assessments. So I appreciate you saying that. We know when it comes to money, we're all a little bit different. And the world thinks now the word different's bad, but it's not. We're all wonderfully different. We're different ages, different life stages, different, where we're at, different, the life that we want. Wonderful. You need to have the right advice and skills for those things, because what could be advice for Bob and Susie up the road could be terrible advice for Steve and Jan on the other side. You want enough information out there and teach people how to get things aligned.
I like that you said advice and skills, because sometimes we don't think about money as a skill. We can just think somehow someone got rich, or somehow someone's business got, we never think that there's a skill. And if it's a skill, it means you can learn it just like other people learned it. And if you apply yourself, you can get better at it. And I appreciate you using that language and reframed it.
Oh, Priscilla, you're exactly right. People don't understand it. It is like, so you mentioned earlier, you played basketball as a professional basketball player in Europe. And in the basketball world, yes, if someone's taller and faster, that's a competitive advantage. They absolutely have a competitive advantage. But in the world of money and business, it's an equal playing field. It's a skill that anybody can develop. And the more time and effort and focus you put on it, it will help. And that is exciting that it's all a level playing field, that if you're listening now, you start applying yourself, 15 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. We have videos on our site that if you watch one video a day, how much smarter are you going to be a month from now, 3 months from now, a year from now? How much better are you going to be able to grow your wealth in your life just by, right before your lunch break, or getting to work 15 minutes early, whatever it is, staying after work 10 minutes, or whatever. Find a place in your calendar every day where you can do this. Just think about it. It's going to be little small bits of time with huge results. And it is a skill, but it's exciting because anybody can grow it.
That's exciting, especially now we're going towards the end of the year and people are setting those goals, those resolutions, getting the money skills. That is something that we all can improve and get better on. You mentioned that you enjoy reading biographies. What's your favorite biography?
That's going to be the Gospels. I mean, that really is Jesus' life. I know it's a simple church answer, but it's so true. That really changed my life. I love Ecclesiastes. I love Proverbs. I also read a lot. I started reading probably 10 years ago. Probably read 1,000 books since then. All the great ones. Starting out, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then it led me from there. I read a lot. People will ask me, say, hey, if I want to start reading, what do I read? For me, this is how I got excited about reading. I found someone that I really looked up to, aspired to be, like Warren Buffett. very big name in the investment space. There's these things out there you can Google and search, and you'll say, hey, what are Warren Buffett's favorite books? And so I look up to Warren Buffett. I want to grow Warren Buffett. So then you'll see Benjamin Graham's The Intelligent Investor. You'll start to see certain books, and then those books will lead you to other books. You talked about a rabbit hole earlier, because those books will give reference to other books, and then you're on your journey. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even have enough time to read all the books I want to, but I make it an effort to where, hey, I read the Bible every morning for 15 minutes, and I read a good chapter of a really good book every day for 15 minutes. I've done it now for 10 years. I wouldn't say it's the number one thing, but it's up there. Like I have a buddy of mine, he's about to sell his business for $30 million. $30 million, Priscilla. And he's not the sharpest crayon in the box. I tell him that all the time. But what he did do is he committed to lifelong learning. He reads a good chapter of a good book every day. And then once or twice a year, he'll go to a weekend seminar of self-improvement, growing in that. And he's done it for 15, 20 years. And he'll tell you between that and his faith, and obviously the support and love of his wife, that has taken him to heights that he never thought imaginable. And so it's not hard. Anybody can do that. It's just, here's the thing. Most people don't, but they can.
That's a good challenge for us there, Dr. Nicholas. I like that you said you love the gospel, because I love the gospel as well. That's why when I went on your website and I started reading the verses, it just went on and on. The truth of the gospel is just, it gives life. And I love that you curated the verses towards wealth and finance and money. That's important, because that's a topic that for some reason is muddy in culture and in the society. So having that truth of the gospel cut through all that muddiness. Please go to his website. I'll link it in the description. It's so good. I'm interested to know for you, if you can share, you and your wife, some of the rules that you live by in terms of creating wealth and the ways you think about money that some of our entrepreneurs can begin to think about.
Yeah, one of the rules that we live by, I probably don't have time to go into all of them, but I'm going to list some highlight ones. One is giving. Giving is so powerful. That law of attraction, it's in the Bible. It's real, shaken and pressed down. And you got to have a giving strategy. And I hope, Priscilla, people are starting to see a common theme here, that everything we want to do, we have an action strategy along with it. Saying that, hey, I want to do this, that's wonderful, but you need to have an action strategy. It needs to be on the calendar. That way it happens, because life gets busy. So one of the things that we do is we give. We give a lot. We give to things that God puts on our heart. We give our time to educate, like we said, to kids, money education, because someone's done it for us. Giving is powerful because the law of attraction is real. Whatever you send out in the world is coming back to you. If you want more money, give more money. If you want more love and respect, give more love and respect. If you don't believe me, I challenge you, on your way to work, just bless everyone. Say, I bless and bless you and all God's goodness that is in you. As you drive to work, do that. See the benefits in your life. They really are. You can just do little things, but make it a habit. And so those are some of the rules, quote unquote, that we live by, is that we're always talking about giving. Who can we help? We send kids to camp, and that's really important to us, because we go to camp. We go to family camp, which is like church camp kids go to, but a bunch of families go. You know how great it is we get to do that with our kids? And so we help send kids to camp because we think it's a wonderful, fun environment to learn about Jesus' love. And so we do it because you do feel good about helping, but Jesus calls us to do it, but there's so many benefits along with it. There is. So giving is definitely one of them. And then you talk about the word communication. Huge. We continue, even though we've had great success and been very blessed, we don't change. We continue to, maybe not every week, but just every week or every other week, we still have these Michels family financial meetings. We're going over the business. We're going over goals for the business, goals for our life. We're very cognizant of doing things together to where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That it's worked, so we want to continue to do it. And those are really big, but also too, so I'll say this is another rule that we've adopted that I read in a book, and most people don't talk about this. Most people say, Priscilla, what are your goals? And you'll be like, hey, these are my goals, big picture. One question people don't do, and they should on their goal list, is put out the things you're not willing to do. And it's being cognizant and thinking about, okay, these are my goals. On the way to achieving these goals, what don't I want to happen? Like divorce. Very important word. A lot of people can become very wealthy, and their marriage is going to suffer along the way because they're prioritizing it and being intentional with it. So put on there too, I don't want to be a distant father, absent father to my kids. Yeah, I want these goals, and I have business goals. I have wealth goals. I have other goals. But what I'm not going to do is let the very important things suffer along the way, that I'm going to put time. And then you can go into, just like your goals, you have action plans to reach these goals. What action plans do you have to make sure that things that you don't want to happen and that would completely wreck your world? There's a quote, all these individuals sacrifice their health to receive wealth, and then all of a sudden they have to spend all their wealth to help with their health because they destroy themselves along the way. Again, I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm just happy that I learned these things that, hey, I've got action items for the goals I want, but I also have action items for the things that I don't want to happen. I'm not prepared that they're important to me. I don't want to lose along the way. And so just being mindful of that. And I don't know about you, Priscilla. Has anybody ever told you that about having the things you don't want to have happen as well? That's new to me. And I think it's genius.
I just thought of the Bible verse that the weeds grow together with the good things. If we don't be mindful that the weeds are growing you're growing the business, but all of a sudden you're taking away time from your family. If you don't have that list of the things that you don't want. And I think for founders especially, knowing that you don't want to build a business at the expense of the people you love. Yeah.
Oh, you're exactly right. And I love that you bring that up because I'm part of a dad group. And this dad group is a bunch of entrepreneurs. And they give this analogy, and the whole thing is to say, hey, we're dads first before business owners. And if you picture two balls underneath my arms, one says business on it, the other says family. This business ball, I can drop it from time to time and pick it back up, and it's going to bounce down the road, and we're going to keep on going. But this family ball over here, I can only drop it so many times before it breaks. And again, an action item I did was join this group to always be mindful of, hey, I can have all the money in the world, but if I don't have my family, what does it matter? And it talks about it in the Bible. You can gain the whole world but lose your soul. And so again, I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes, but I'm trying to be mindful of, hey, these are the things that I want to happen. These are things I don't want to happen. What action things, daily activities, weekly, monthly activities can I put on the calendar to make sure that priorities stay a priority? And here's the next thing I'll tell you, Priscilla. If you're listening to this right now and you're trying to make progress in different areas of your life, whether it be your marriage, whether it be business, whether it be wealth, get ready, because in each little stair step, there's going to be barriers at the top that this world, and this world is a paradox, it can be tough sometimes. This world's going to push back a little bit. That just because you start wanting to do the right thing and trying to do the right thing, don't think it's going to be perfect. Expect resilience, but just be prepared that the things that are important to you, the people that are important to you, it's worth it to fight through those barriers and continue to move up. I can't explain how it happens or why it happens, but just know this world, it's going to make it tough on you from time to time, but it's worth it to keep pushing through.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Dr. Nicholas, when you're talking about the dad group, how important that is to find that community of people who value what you value. Because, you may have this goal to protect your family, but if you're constantly around people who think family doesn't matter, or they don't understand why you want to go and see your child's soccer thing and instead not go and do this business thing, your environment, it influences you. Being intentional about creating that environment.
I'll share this. Have you noticed everything I say, I get lucky, a God wink? And this is another one that I was lucky. I was part of a men's Bible study, and it ranged from ages 25 all the way up to 85. But in there were 6 weeks there where 6 different men got up there and shared their testimony, and they went pretty deep. I mean, they shared about real things that they struggled with. And what you understand is all of us human beings, there's so many things that we struggle with, and we all struggle with something. And most of it's probably 7 or 8 things that are very common. What I learned is when I struggle with something, it's okay to ask for help. I'm not the only person going through it, whether it be my wife and I getting on the same page, whether it be I have a teenage son and trying to, connect with him to where I can help him, having a youngster, and all those different, because there's different obstacles or challenges with every stage of life, every area of life. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because I promise you, more people are going through it than you know. And when you ask for help, you're going to get great advice, especially from what you just described, Priscilla, was a key group of very successful individuals who are like-minded like you and have found success, and they're willing to give it to you because, just like myself, we have received so much help along the way, you have no option but to pay it forward.
Thank you so much for that. That's because I know we've gone over time. Please, if I can give you rapid fire, 5 questions. Okay. One word that describes your relationship with money today.
Grateful.
Biggest money lie that entrepreneurs and founders believe.
Ooh, the love or the lust of money is the root of all evil. Money is not evil.
Most underrated wealth habit that an everyday person can grasp onto and get started.
Giving, the power of giving.
A money rule that you and your wife live by, the number one. I'll say that.
I mean, communication, talking about money, being on the same page, united. I don't know if that's number one, but it had a great, powerful, positive impact on our life. So it's hard not to talk about that all the time. And most marriages are in the same boat we were.
If you had to describe in one sentence, being rich by choice means what?
being rich in money and being rich in all areas of life. And it can happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nicholas Michels. You can go to his website, www.richbychoicebook.com.
If you're listening, I got a free gift for you. Go to the website, richbychoicebook.com, www.richbychoicebook.com. Right there, it'll say free gift in a green box. Click the compounding by choice. Type in your email. We're going to send you the chapter. What I love about it is kind of what we talked about now. We have seen thousands upon thousands of success stories from this one chapter. It's one of my favorite because we talk compounding. Everyone thinks compounding interest, right? But what most people realize is your marriage, relationships, health, wealth, happiness, every area is either compounding. And it's compounding either for good or for bad. And so it gives you small little action items for all the different areas, your faith, intelligence, well-being. And it gives you small little things you can start doing that are important to you that you're going to continue to grow and compound in a positive way. That's why Warren Buffett said, hey, grow 1% a day. Can you imagine about that? People think that's nothing. That's huge. So again, richbychoicebook.com, put an email address, compounding by choice. You're going to get an email that's yours. It's absolutely free. I hope it blesses you as much as it's blessed us. And so just thank you so much for having us. God bless.
Thank you so much for that gift to the audience. Please take advantage of that. If you can think about looking back 10, 15 years from now, I hope this conversation, you take action on it and you can look back and know that it made an impact on you and you can share it with someone else so that you can have people growing together with you. I think that's key. Thank you so much, Dr. Nicholas. I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, Priscilla. I love what you're doing. God bless.